If I asked you what country this was, what would you say? It's actually New York City, USA, an enclave called Little Palestine, inside of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. The signs are in Arabic, there aren't any American flags in sight, and it was here that a daycare center owner told me that October 7th was a good thing. So you feel like October 7th was good, yeah?
Well, of course.
I've come back to Little Palestine to expose the truth behind the group of Orthodox Jews you've seen in all my protest videos. They're always at the front, representing the perception that Jews stand against the West. It's time the world knows the truth about this group, and what better way than to speak to their leader? Welcome back to The Nate Friedman Show.
Hey man, how you doing? Hey, mind if I ask you guys a question? We spoke earlier?
Working for?
I'm working for myself. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You work for yourself? What's the name of your blog? What's the name
Nate Friedman. Can you tell me what you're doing out here?
We are here while Gaza is starving. We as Jewish people have an obligation to stand up and say this is not in our name. This has to be stopped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zionism is not Judaism, and they not speak in the name of the Jewish people.
Yeah.
All that the state of Israel is standing is against our religion.
Yeah. So you stand with Gaza?
We stand with Gaza, we stand with Palestine.
Do you believe that you could physically stand in Gaza dressed as you are and be alive?
We war in Gaza, and I know this is Zionist propaganda.
Okay.
To say that Jews cannot live with the Palestinians together, but we used to live in peace together with the Palestinian people for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
This is true false propaganda.
But right now, I'm asking.
This is the Zionist media. Right now, yes. 6 years ago, we went to Gaza. The Gaza people don't have any problem with the Jewish people as the Jewish religion. They have a problem with the brutal occupation of the state of Israel.
They most certainly have a problem with the Jewish people. If you listen to the phone calls from Gazans killing Israelis on October 7th, they explicitly say Jew, not Israeli. Listen for yourself. Now, there are countless videos like this, but watch this Gazan woman talk about Jews. Now, it's of course not just random people off the street in Gaza that hate Jews. The leaders of Hamas explicitly call for the annihilation of all Jews, including this Orthodox Jew that I'm talking to. Now, the idea that Jews used to live in peace in Gaza is also fiction. Israel pulled out of Gaza in 2005. Now, do you think that they did so because they didn't like the food? March 7th, 2002, a Hamas gunman infiltrated the Jewish town of Atzoma in Gaza and opened fire on a pre-military academy, murdering 5 teenage trainees and injuring 24 more. May 2nd, 2004, at the edge of the Gaza Strip, 2 gunmen from Islamic Jihad and the Popular Resistance Committees slaughtered Tali Hatziel, an 8 months pregnant woman and her 4 little girls. So how could such barbarism be taught? Well, these are Palestinian children playing a game called Stab the Jew, where they dress one of their friends up like a Jew and pretend to stab him. And this is a Palestinian summer camp where kids are trained to kill Jews and even reenact it. Now Hamas is right here in New York City at this protest, and I confronted those people too, and this video ended up with me getting a police escort out of here.
And the starvation that you guys are doing.
You guys? Why you say you guys?
Because I know from your question that you are a Zionist reporter, and therefore
Because I asked a question.
To say that this lie, this propaganda have to end.
Okay.
And the world is waking up by now to the lies.
So as it stands right now, you believe that you could live there?
Of course, they don't have any problem with the Jewish people as a Jewish religion, and you will find the Hamas charter saying they have no problem with the Jewish people.
No, in the charter they say they want to kill every Jew.
This is false propaganda.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised. We just started the interview and he's already defending Hamas. I thought it would take just a bit longer, but just goes to show how crazy this interview is going to get. So the charter absolutely says that. In the Hamas covenant from 1988, they write, "The day of judgment will not come about until the Muslims fight the Jews. The stones and trees will say, 'O Muslims, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him.'" Okay, so not very nice. Now in 2017, they made some changes to have a more broader appeal, so they would replace Jew with Zionist, saying things like Hamas affirms that its conflict is with the Zionist project, not with the Jews because of their religion. Now here's the issue with that. Their changed charter to just pretend that they're not anti-Semitic, didn't stop their leaders from just telling the truth in their speeches. Here's a Hamas leader going into extreme detail of what to do with Jews.
وبدنا إياكم يا أهل القدس بالسكاكين امعطوا رقاب اليهود كلها هي تقف على العرق من هان.
So there you have it. But this change of charter by Hamas was actually brilliant because it allowed people like the guy I'm interviewing to say, look, Hamas doesn't have a problem with Jews, it's just Zionism.
They changed.
What do they say in the charter?
In the charter it says clearly they have no problem with the Jewish people, and we have our rabbis who met with the leaders of Hamas and they told publicly they have nothing against the Jewish.
I'm sorry, what? You had your rabbis meet with the leaders of Hamas, and that's something you're proud of. I guess I couldn't ask for a better introduction to who these people really are. This rabbi I'm talking to represents a group called Neturei Karta, or NKUSA, and here you can in fact see them meeting with Ismail Haniyeh, the former leader of Hamas. Now, Haniyeh celebrated the October 7th massacre while praying in Qatar, seeing the slaughter and saying God is good.
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah.
He's referred to donations toward Gaza as financial jihad.
ونحن إخواني الكرام وأخواتي الكريمات لنطلق عليه الجهاد المالي.
Haniyeh called Osama bin Laden a martyr and an Arab holy warrior. Haniyeh once said that we love death the way our enemies love life. That's who NKUSA met with. And Haniyeh didn't kill them because they were useful to him. But of course he eventually would have, just as Hitler did with the Jews who supported him. So why does NKUSA meet with Hamas leaders? They don't just reject the existence of Israel, but they actively work with Israel's enemies to destroy it. Because it's not just Hamas leaders that NK meets with. Here's them meeting with Hezbollah, the Iranian proxy trying to take out Israel and who has killed Americans. NK continues on their terror tour, even meeting with the financial backers themselves, the president of Iran, the country that's continuously bankrolled terror around the globe. Now, while NK is a fringe group, they do have a presence in Israel, the UK, France, Germany, Canada, and a few other countries. They are the token Jews at anti-West rallies that fool people into thinking that Jews in the West hate Israel and their psyop is succeeding.
So my question, like you saying that you can coexist there, like I saw a lot of celebrations after October 7th in Gaza that they were cheering for dead Jews. You still feel like you would be safe there?
I will repeat what I said already.
Well, if you're going to repeat the same thing, you don't have to. But
I will repeat. They are on this siege for so many years. They are resisting a brutal occupation. I will not say all what Hamas did. I'm not their lawyer, but I will say that if they hate somebody, it's because the Zionist actions.
So who is this guy that I'm talking to that needs to be a lawyer in order to condemn Hamas? Meet Rabbi Yitzhak. When you go to work, he goes to protest. This man has gone to hundreds of protests and he travels the country to do so. Rabbi Yitzhak wants you to believe that Jews globally support Hamas. And his strategy is simple. Be at every single anti-West protest possible. You will see him traveling with his crew, and all these people you see next to him are always with him, partly because NKUSA is a very, very small group with just about 1,000 members. Now let's just take this guy right here next to him as an example. Here's him at another protest, and another, and another, and another. More, and more, hundreds of protests, just like Yitzhak, because that is what they do. NK works very closely with the People's Forum, a protest incubator ran by Roy Neville Singham, a Marxist billionaire living in China whose sole goal is to destroy the West. If you've been watching the channel, you pretty much have that memorized by now. Now, the quickest and most effective way to do it, to destroy the West, is to first install anti-Zionism and then funnel that hatred into Marxism. That's why at the People's Forum, they host classes all about socialism and Marxism right next to the children's books about Palestinian resistance. Haniyeh would be proud of NKUSA today because he's doing exactly what he wanted them to do, and so are many college students who have attended these protests, many of which are not from America, by the way, but imported here with nothing but hatred for the values this country was built on. Remember Mohammed Hussein? A business school student who told me he wants to be the leader of Hamas. He's almost always next to NKUSA at protests. Little do those Jews know that Mohammed wants to eliminate them too. There are countless videos of Mohammed side by side with NK. Now, these protests are obviously extremely coordinated. Remember Veronica Betito, a college student from Canada that wrote papers defending Palestine at Northeastern and now poses with PSL, an organization that supports North Korea and wants to abolish the police.
So when we will stand up and we will do God's will to stand up and say, no, this brutal occupation have to be stopped.
Yeah.
This genocide have to be stopped. We will live together in the beautiful peace. I know the Zionists want it should be bloodshed.
Okay, wait, you're talking to me, not Zionists. You're talking to me. I don't speak for them, right? You know that. I do not speak for Zionists. I'm speaking for myself.
It could be you don't speak for the Zionists, but the Zionist propaganda is deep in your head. You are speaking,
I don't think so. I'm asking questions.
I see you brainwashed of the Zionist propaganda to say that Jews and Palestinians have a problem to coexist together. This is the root cause of the Zionist propaganda, and we are here to counter this lie.
Okay, so please counter them. So there hasn't been a single Gazan who has reported a hostage to the IDF to get them out. Why?
My question is, answer me this question. Who created Hamas?
Of course he ignores that question. Not only did Gazans not help rescue the hostages, but watch how they spit on the hostages as they're moved deeper into Gaza. Now, there are countless testimonies from Jewish hostages that go into detail of their captivity and how the Gazans treated them. Not Hamas, but the Gazans. Listen to Sapir Cohen.
I saw thousands of people in the street. Like, all the people came outside and they are all encouraged the terrorists, and they are all come to touch me and to beat me, and they beat me strong. So I need to put the hands on my head and I'll say, God, please save me. I don't want to die here.
Yitzhak and the rest of NK stands with the Gazans who did that to her. But if you watch CBS, you'd think otherwise. Take a listen.
Also in attendance, an Orthodox Jewish group standing in solidarity with demonstrators. Calls for peace are only getting stronger.
I wouldn't exactly call the group who takes pictures with Hamas and burns the Israeli flag as ones who can call for peace, but that's just how one-sided the legacy media can be. Like, did you read about the terror attack in Jerusalem just recently? 6 Israelis were killed and 13 more were injured when a terrorist opened fire at a bus stop. Left-wing media framed this as part of a broader surge of violence and tied the Gaza war using phrases like occupied East Jerusalem and focusing on emotional chaos at the scene. Meanwhile, right-leaning outlets called it a Hamas-backed terrorist attack carried out by Muslim terrorists, describing it as horrific terror and blasting Western leaders for moral cowardice. Right-wing media also mentioned that this was part of the Pay for Slay program, where Palestinian terrorists' families are rewarded $400 a month for life if they kill innocent Israelis, who they just refer to as soldiers. Same exact story, totally different tone. And if you only read one side, you'll miss how the other half of the country is interpreting the story. That's why before I hit the ground to film, I check ground news. It's the fastest way to see how both sides are covering the same event without having to click through dozens of different websites. My favorite feature by far, though, is the blind spot feed, because rather than just show you the bias, it also clearly shows you what each side is choosing not to cover at all. Now, if you want to know how that person in your life sees news the opposite way that you do, then check out Ground News, and specifically the Vantage plan. You will love it. It's the same plan that I use to prepare for my videos and also just to stay informed. Now, because you're a viewer of the channel, you can also get 40% off the Vantage plan. Just head to ground.news/Friedman or by scanning the QR code here. This is also one of the best ways to help support this channel's security costs. And now, back to the video. Now, the rabbi asked me if I know how Hamas started. Hamas was created by Sheikh Yassin in Gaza in 1987 amid the first Intifada's chaos, as an Islamist alternative to the secular approach of the PLO. The Sheikh and the rest of Hamas's founders believed that it was Islam that provided the ideological framework to liberate Palestine. Now, Hamas's ideology originally came from Egypt. It was actually the Muslim Brotherhood there, which set up branches in Palestine by the mid-40s. Yassin joined the Brotherhood in the 1950s 1950s while studying in Cairo, adopting their teachings and later leading their Gaza chapter from 1968. He began digging Hamas's roots in Gaza through religious outreach, but it wasn't until he made this move that changed the course of history for the region. He founded Mujama al-Islamiyah in 1973 and registered it as a charitable arm with Israel in 1979, which let them raise funds from Saudi Arabia and Kuwait to construct hundreds of mosques, schools, clinics, and even take over the Islamic University of Gaza, and all to win over locals and counter the PLO's influence. Hamas then used the first Intifada as a launch pad to begin their operations and win the hearts and minds of Palestinians. Now, they struck first blood when in 1989 they kidnapped and killed 2 Israeli soldiers. When the Oslo Accords were presented in 1993 to find peace between the PLO and Israel, Hamas launched several suicide bombings to sabotage peace talks. Ultimately, Gazans preferred that method of resistance and voted Hamas into power in 2006. So to answer his question of who created Hamas, the answer is Sheikh Yassin, who built up the Muslim Brotherhood in Gaza, whose slogan, by the way, was, quote, "Islam is the solution."
We lived in a beautiful peace for hundreds of years. Answer me, who created this?
Jews and Arabs were together in peace for hundreds of years?
For hundreds of years we were in peace. If you
follow
the Hebrew massacre in 1929, Rabbi Baruch Kaplan, who was a
student, can I say the same thing to you now?
Let me finish. Rabbi Baruch Kaplan, who was a student in 1929 in Yeshiva, he stood up after them and told the media that the Zionists are responsible for this bloodshed. The Zionists didn't let the Jews live in peace with the Palestinian people.
Okay.
So stop your Zionist propaganda.
But I can't.
Stop brainwashing people.
I can't say.
Live in peace. I stand there near the Palestinian people, and we are here in solidarity together with the suffering.
So would you go,
people,
like, if we
starvation of the
please wait, sir.
If you think
so,
when you starve 2 million
if
people,
my viewers rate,
peace, you are totally
can I talk?
Brainwashed with the Zionist propaganda.
If my viewers would raise money, would you go to Gaza and see if this would work? Would you do it?
Of course.
You would do it?
Of course.
Oh, that's amazing. What's your name?
My name is Rabbi Yitzchak Deutsch.
Rabbi Yitzchak?
Yes, I will go to Gaza.
You will go.
And I will find peace.
How much money do you need to go? How much money needs to be raised?
Any money from me.
So why don't you go?
The problem is there is a siege in Gaza. Nobody can go in. I don't want to go with the Zionist authorities because I don't recognize the state of Israel. But if the Egyptian government will let me in, I will go in. I will bring aid to the suffering of the Palestinian people.
So,
for the people who are starving to death, I will go in and give solidarity for this suffering of the people.
Okay. He likes this idea that Jews and Arabs were living together in peace for hundreds of years. Don't get me wrong, I love that idea too, but it's not historically accurate at all. All you have to do is look at this map. There were 63,000 Jews in Yemen, now there are 50. There were 265,000 Jews in Morocco, and now there's 2,100. There were 150,000 Jews in Iraq, and now there's 10. So why did they leave Iraq? Well, Arabs in Iraq were being courted by Nazis. The Germans even translated Hitler's speeches in Arabic so that Arabs would take out as many Jews as they possibly could. So in 1941, swarms of soldiers in Iraq went hunting for Jews. Jews were ordered to stay in their homes and their doors were marked with a red Hamsa. Hundreds of Jews were then cut down by sword and rifle. Some were decapitated and babies were sliced in half and thrown in the river. Girls were in front of their parents, and parents were killed in front of their children. Now, does that sound like Arabs and Jews living in peace to you?
What did you think about October 7th? Do you think there should be another one?
I think that the Zionists are responsible for October 7th, and not just October 7th, they are responsible for 77 years of bloodshed on both sides, Jews and Palestinians.
So do you think there should be another October 7th?
I think that
yes or
if
no?
the Zionists continue with their actions, there will
probably
be another October 7th.
But right now.
And it's the Zionists who are responsible for the risks of bloodshed. And I will add that the Zionists want it should be another October 7th to be able to kill more Palestinians and to finish this genocide.
Yeah, but I'm just asking.
So we are here to say that while you want October 7th, I am here to cry for the suffering of the people, Jews and Palestinians together. Your action, 77 years of action, are responsible for this bloodshed.
Okay, so as it stands right now, would you like there to be an October 7th again?
As we stand right
Yes.
now, I'm here to say that the Zionists are responsible.
But that's
for
not my question.
77
That's not my
years of
question,
bloodshed.
sir.
I will repeat my answer.
Okay,
I will repeat
so
my
you will answer it. You will answer
I will
it.
repeat my answer again. The Zionists are responsible for 77 years of bloodshed, not just October 7th.
Okay.
77
But that
years.
doesn't- but that-
Rivers of bloodshed are on the Zionist hand.
So you
And
don't
if
want to
they
answer.
will continue.
Not if they will continue. I'm saying
will
right
see
now.
again.
I'm saying right now.
Unbelievable, the
Tomorrow.
situation.
Tomorrow.
2 million people in Gaza are dying, starving to
Sure.
death, and you turn a blind eye to this.
Why is Israel attacking Gaza
Why
now?
you are doing this?
But let me-
Why are you turning a blind eye?
I'm
to
not-
the
my eyes
suffering
are
of the
open.
people of Gaza, to the starvation of the people of Gaza.
Okay.
It's our duty as Jewish people to stand up and to say no. This has to be stopped. Then maybe then when the occupation will stop, then we will join together the beautiful peace that did exist in
I would love to join
prior
together.
the movement of Zionism.
I would love to join
It's
together.
the movement of Zionism which is responsible, and it's the movement of Zionism and the brainwashing, the Zionist propaganda, like the media, like you, who is responsible for this rivers of bloodshed. You are complicit of this genocide in Gaza. You are complicit of the killing of the Jewish people around the world and in Israel. You are. It's your responsibility.
So why do you think
because
Gaza's
you are
being
here
so okay, before October 7th, there's many videos of Gaza as a nice place. Would you agree or no?
Yes.
Beach, beautiful buildings, everything. Okay. And then it was destroyed.
Destroyed my home.
Okay.
Destroyed my home.
Okay. Gaza was destroyed. Before there was listen.
Destroyed my home.
Okay.
Destroyed my
Gaza
home. It's what was not destroyed.
I get it. So there were beautiful
Destroyed
shots.
my home.
Oh, Israel.
Israel.
I will say that. Yeah, 100%.
Israel committed
So
a terrible genocide on the people of Gaza. So stop here. Don't go.
why
any
can't you answer
further.
my question?
Stop here.
So you won't answer it?
So it's the Zionist people who created a destruction in Gaza.
Listen to me.
2
Just
million people are now starving to death, and you are here with your ugly, satanic propaganda of the Zionist
but
movement.
you can't answer my question.
Open your eyes and
What
see
happened
what you
between-
created for 77 years bloodshed.
Will you stop talking for a second or
77
no?
years. You followed the rebellion against God. You know that all the Jewish rabbis were in opposition to the state of Israel.
Okay.
And we will continue to stand up against the Zionist state of Israel and against its supporters. And we are here. I will finish with that point. That it's your responsibility for the bloodshed on both Palestinian people and the Jewish people. And I cannot understand how a human being can stand and turn a blind eye to the starvation.
Are you
going to
answer one question or no?
Killing of the Palestinian people.
Are you done?
Thank you very much.
Or you don't want to answer one more question? So you won't answer the question of what happened between Gaza being this beautiful place with shops and restaurants to it being destroyed. What happened in between those moments?
The answer is very clear.
What happened between
the answer
that?
is very clear.
Okay.
The Zionist movement expanded their,
So you
their
won't acknowledge.
long-awaited plan, colonialist project.
Okay.
And they,
So
and
do you
they
think
want
do
to
you,
do it-
do you think
do this
October
now in
7th?
Gaza. So
Do you think
we are standing here to oppose this colonial movement of the Zionist
Do you-
settler movement?
do you think
which
that October
want
7th
Gaza for their purpose, for killing more Jews and more Palestinians?
Do you think that
So
October
we are
7th
there
oh
in
my
solidarity
God.
with the Palestinian people and
This
to
is what-
counter this brainwashed Zionist
Okay,
people.
brainwashed.
Thank you very much.
You're done? Okay. Amazing.
You can clearly see that he wants another October 7th, but won't admit it because that will hurt their narrative. So who is funding Yitzhak to not answer simple questions, yet be at every single protest possible? Now, there is no financial transparency from NK's part. They claim to be funded by small private donations, but their word doesn't exactly hold a lot of weight. When you think of the heavy hitters that are benefiting tremendously from NK's activities, you can only imagine they figured out a way to get money to them. There is concrete evidence, however, of a $30,000 monthly payment from Yasser Arafat, the former leader of the PLO, to Neturei Karta's former leader. That's why you even saw Moshe Hirsch, the former leader of Neturei Karta, at Yasser Arafat's funeral in Ramallah. NK has made multiple trips to Tehran, including a 2006 visit to attend a Holocaust denial conference hosted by then-President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, where members met with Iranian officials and shared platforms with figures like David Duke. Now, it's very possible that funds were exchanged at these conferences. In 2024, a delegation attended the funeral of Iranian President Raisi in Tehran, with Rabbi David Weiss from NK describing Raisi as an amazing leader. NK has also engaged with Qatar, a key backer of Hamas, attending the 2024 funeral of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Doha and holding signs denouncing Israel. Now, Qatar has channeled up to $30 million a month into Gaza, so giving NK thousands of dollars to protest seems well within their means. It's a perfect match because you'll see that Al Jazeera often features Neturei Karta in a positive light. You remember his cameraman kind of smiling with him as they left the interview? That's because they're a team and they know once their broken logic is confronted, that it's time to stop the interview. Now, this cameraman has been at this for a long time. Here's him videoing an interview that Tucker did many, many years ago. Here's him traveling to the White House to protest. And finally, here's him at as many protests as I can to fit on this screen. Next up, I wanted to speak to these guys dressed as terrorists. Even in the watered-down version of the Hamas charter, they outline that Hamas wants to kill all Zionists. So that's just what I asked him.
All right, can I ask you a question? Is it okay if I ask you one? Okay. I'll just record so I have...
Depends on the question, what the question is.
Okay, so the question is like, do you want to kill all Zionists? Would you like to? It's just one question. Do you not want to answer? Because that's just what the headband says.
That's not what the headband says.
What does the headband say? Tell me. Tell me what that headband means.
You can look it up.
No, I want you to tell me.
So you don't even know what your own headband means?
Is it closed? Okay.
He wasn't exactly in the answering mood, so I asked police if he can even have a headband like that on in the United States that represents a terror organization that wants to see America destroyed or completely converted to Islam. This was the police's response.
It's incredible. There's a guy with a Hamas headband over there.
Yeah,
and
everyone heard about it?
Yeah.
It's a protest, we're not doing anything about it.
Okay, I just was curious why, that's all. I mean, he wants to kill every...
Of speech, he can do whatever the fuck
Okay,
he
obviously
wants.
you're annoyed. It's the first time I've asked, so that's why I'm like...
You came up to 2 of my cops already.
Sure, and they told you that it's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
I told them it's fine.
So if there was 50 people with Hamas headbands, it would be fine?
Yes.
100?
Yes.
Even 1,000?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you guys.
Have a
Appreciate
good day.
it.
Have a good one.
Okay, I did not think, did you think that the police in New York City would say that about someone wearing a Hamas headband? Next, I saw these guys trying to intimidate the pro-West side on the other side of the street. As I wrapped up my interviews, I noticed that they also started to follow me out of the protest. Didn't get that on film as I was on high alerts. I then saw that this policewoman noticed what was going on and she offered to escort me out of the protest safely. So thank you to her, she was really cool. Now as we ride back home, I want to mention 3 quick things. Number 1, as of recording this, the man on the phone calling his dad celebrating that he killed Jews with his bare hands was just eliminated by Israeli forces. Number 2, there are significantly more Hamas headbands at these protests now than I've ever seen in New York before. Number 3, places like Little Palestine exist in the United States. If you think Hamas's ideology only exists across the world, you'd be sadly mistaken. It's at our doorstep. Now, if you want to know how DC protests are funded and the story behind the 24/7 protester, then watch this video. I did a full expose on her and the protest encampment right outside Union Station. I'll see you there.